Hi, this is Janice Cookin, and I want to welcome you to week 1 of the Mplus workshops. This is the week that we go through the introduction to the system and go through some basic steps. So this week we're going to have an introduction to Mplus. We'll talk about the advantages of it over other software. We'll talk about how to access it at WPI, and I will include a demonstration and talk to you about how to prepare your own data, Mplus commands, and then some hints to avoid headaches. So to start off with, I want to talk to you about some of the features available on Mplus that make it really preferable to other statistical software packages. It is a statistical modeling program that offers researchers the flexibility to use a variety of models, estimators, and algorithms to analyze their data. It's powerful enough to examine data from many common data collection methods, including cross-sectional, longitudinal, single-level, and multi-level data. Even if your data is continuous, but maybe you have some of the measures that are censored, binary, ordinal, nominal, or if they're a combination of these levels of measurement, Mplus has the tools needed to properly represent the data in your models. The syntax is streamlined, and it is designed to set up your models efficiently. Now, this is a screenshot of the webpage for Mplus, statmodel.com. As you use Mplus more often, I expect you'll be here a lot. There's so many different resources here that you can use. And also, here's a place where you can download the demo version of the software if you choose to do that. Mplus has been designed to work efficiently in a latent variable modeling framework. This is particularly important in social sciences, where we are interested in relationship between variables that, unlike things like temperature, height, or weight, we cannot directly measure. We're often interested in relationships between variables such as self-efficacy, anxiety, grit, ability, beliefs, and attitudes. Variables that are measured using some type of a validated instrument and has multiple indicators. Often researchers reduce the data from this by calculating some sort of factor score based on an average of the indicator variables. But this method assumes equal weighting across the indicators, something that you may have discovered is not true, especially if you have conducted an exploratory factor analysis or a confirmatory factor analysis. So by using a latent variable model with all the indicators set up to load onto a latent variable, you retain for your regression all the information provided in the data, resulting in a model that is much more representative of the entire picture. Often in research, we find situations with missing data as well, and there are all sorts of things that we can do, but often programs such as SPSS provides list-wise deletion, which is not beneficial. You lose so much information when it deletes the entire record. So the default estimator in Mplus is called a full information maximum likelihood estimator. It utilizes all the available data to estimate the model. Methodological research has shown that FIML is a superior method for handling missing data. For example, it's compared to list-wise deletion, pairwise deletion, and mean imputation. Because the use of Mplus often involves examining models of complex relationships among variables with complex data structures, if we were to do a thorough analysis of Mplus, we would draw upon topics of data analysis, statistical modeling, and research methods. And we're going to do that as much as possible, and then we will point you to resources to help translate your results into your reports and your manuscripts. So just kind of to go through the advantages, some of which I've already discussed. Mplus is one program that provides the flexibility to do a large variety of statistical analysis techniques, and it uses different estimators. It runs simulations if you need them. It provides a very strong user support network with a detailed user guide, sample data, syntax, and output to support each modeling technique. It provides online forums, access to workshop notes, and many of the videos on the Mplus website represent workshops hosted by the developers, Bent and Linda Mutane and others. And so they're very high quality training videos. You also have access to best practice techniques on modeling through the Mplus discussion forums, through the technical appendices, web notes, and publications. And through the use of Mplus and its user community, you're going to learn more about advanced modeling techniques. And you'll learn about how these communities support your development and use of best practice techniques. After the close of this short video, I'm going to talk to you and give you a demonstration about how to access Mplus at WPI. There's actually really two ways you can do it. You can download the demo version, and I'm going to show you here. I'm going to go back to this. This is the web page, and it says Mplus demo version right here. You can click on that and download the demo, but the demo version is a pretty stripped down version of the software, but it is a good learning tool. Or you can access the Mplus via the Sunflower server through the remote desktop, and I'm going to demonstrate that. This week, I'm going to briefly show you how Mplus syntax works through some commands. To do this, I'm providing you with syntax and data, and this is for two different things. One is using this McNulty data set, and in that, I'm going to show you how to check to make sure your data has been read in properly, and I'm also going to show you how to run a regression model. Now, this McNulty dataset was provided through Andy Field's textbook on SPSS and statistics. McNulty investigated newlyweds to identify if there's a relationship between attractiveness and support. So if one of the partners is attractive, does that mean they provide more or less support to the other spouse? It's kind of a funny little question. And so in order to look at this data, I provided the data both in SPSS and in Mplus. The format for that is .dat. I also provide the syntax for SPSS, for Mplus, and output for each. I also want to take a little time to show you how to prepare your data for Mplus. And I'm using a data set from the book, Data Analysis with Mplus by Christian Geiser, that has a companion website, and I've downloaded the SPSS data syntax and the Mplus data and syntax as well. Now, the reason I provide both is because Mplus does not directly read data sets in the SPSS data format. You actually have to change it into a different format. And I will demonstrate how that is done. Mplus has 10 commands that are the headings for developing syntax. And this syntax designates the unique feature of your particular model. When you type these followed by a colon, the font turns blue automatically. Mplus does have a limited scope syntax generator, but I don't recommend you use it. I recommend you actually use example syntax that from programs that you know works. Use the user guide and start with that syntax rather than the syntax generator. An important thing to know when you are writing syntax is how to put a comment in your syntax. The comments are very important for documenting what each section of the program does. So in Mplus, you need to start your sentence with the exclamation point. And when you do, the font turns green, and then Mplus will ignore those statements. Here are some additional helpful hints. You need to place your syntax and data files in a single folder. Again, as I give the demonstration, we'll go through all of those steps. You need to document your work. You need to label the syntax and write something about it in the title command. Every command must end with a semicolon, and Mplus is not case sensitive, and so you don't have to worry about that. And the terms are and equals and is are interchangeable, and you'll see that that can be a little confusing at first, but they mean exactly the same thing. Throughout this workshop, if you have any questions, please contact me. That's my contact information there. We can set up a one-on-one meeting if you need to. I'll be happy to help you with your particular situation. Thank you for your attention, and now it's time to run Mplus.